How's it going, everybody? Peeky here, PB for short, and today for the sneaky peeky, we have the Småland. She's very comparable to the tech tree ship, but you know I'm all for having DDs with AA at tier 10 because it desperately needs it. Now let's go over the changes here. So instead of engine accelerator, we're getting that exhaust or that emergency engine accelerator, and then we're also getting fuel smoke. Now for the stats, it has about 1k more health, a little faster of a time to full speed, but like all this is negligible. The guns, faster reload, a little less range, but the big thing is the torpedoes. You lose 2 torpedoes, so you have a 5x launcher and a 3x launcher, whereas Holland has 5x5s. You also do lose a little bit of the concealment, but I feel like that's a good trade-off for getting fuel smoke because I value fuel smoke. Being able to disengage from a bad situation is honestly one of the best qualities a DD can have. And these engine accelerators or emergency accelerators, they actually do pretty well in that because they're so quick reloading. She's definitely a great commander trainer if you're working Swirsky, or you know, if you just want to work your EU commanders. Definitely a great captain trainer because, you know, all the skills line up. Now, with that faster reload, you also have a 4.5% fire chance, which means this thing can start fires pretty nicely. And it works out because the torpedoes, as with the tech tree line, do have a high flooding chance. So you pretty much want to play this by getting people's damage controls on cooldown, and then starting permanent fires and floods. Also, another one of the things to note is this thing does not get the 4 heals that the tech tree line gets. So be mindful of that. A little more dangerous because you still have enough armor to arm armor piercing. You have just enough to take full pens. So yeah, be careful. The way that I play this ship it's more of a support ship. All right, so especially with the radar, you want to be able to support your battleships and cruisers using your radar at precise moments when you can get a kill on a DD. It can be especially effective with Venezias or Smolensk, or you know, anything that can kill a DD really quickly. Italian battleships, I'm looking at you, things like that. Now, because of the nature of the ship, you know, getting damage controls with floods and fires, thing pairs very nicely with other fire starters and carriers. I wouldn't even mind playing with a carrier division because this ship does have the AA to back it up. You do have defensive fire alert 3, which is always very nice, and you can use it to also support your teammates. Now personally, I don't mind missing 2 torpedoes from my launchers because these spreads are so wide that you're not going to be hitting all your torps anyways. Like even with Holland, you won't hit all your torps when firing from range. Now if you death ride someone, that's a different story, but a lot of times you're not going to be doing that because you do not have the torpedo power. Now the way I view Småland over the Holland is it's essentially the same boat, just a little more survivable with that smoke and those emergency accelerators. That's pretty much it. It's a Holland, but it can survive just a little bit better. Now, to those of you that have Holland, you know, and like to play her, you'll probably enjoy this boat. Again, like I said, it's safer. But if you don't have Holland or you don't enjoy that kind of playstyle, then, you know, this boat's most likely not for you. Me personally, I would snag it up just because it is one of the safer DDs to play at tier 10 because of the AA. Right now, tier 10 DD play, it can be pretty dang rough with all the carriers running around. Now, even if the carrier doesn't torp you or bomb you, it's still a problem when you're getting spotted and there's Christopher Columbus aiming at you. So I know a lot of people run divs with carriers and Christopher Columbus for that reason. Now, this thing's probably coming out in a crate. If I had to take a guess, I probably won't gamble for it, but if it ever came out in the shipyard or a crate in the future, I most likely would pick it up just because it's an AADD at tier 10. Now on to this match. I've pretty much been torturing this Puerto Rico. Stopped him from pushing in, made him turn around and rethink what he was doing. I've gotten 6 torpedoes and 3 floods, which is amazing. But now we have a Preußen pushing in. I've launched torps at him because there's also a Fletcher going for him too. So if I can get a flood, maybe he can get a permanent flood with his torpedoes, and then we could just whittle this guy down even further. Fortunately, I do get that flood, and he immediately damage controls, and there's the other torpedoes going in, but has it been enough time? Unfortunately, the Fletcher did not get the flood, but now we're just going to try to farm him, get some fires going, and, you know, see what we can do here. I'm just going to slow up because he's kind of focused on that Fletcher, so it really doesn't matter if I'm broadside right now. Now, one of the beauties about the boat, or kind of the line, so Holland and Småland, is they have good torpedo range. So I'm going to go ahead and just send him down the white line because I don't think he's going to change course. He has a Fletcher pushing him. So, yeah, I have a feeling he's just going to keep reversing. And pretty much everyone's just been ignored. Besides the Puerto Rico who did shoot at me a couple times, everyone's pretty much just ignored me. So I'm just able to keep the guns going, keep just holding down the trigger down. And you can see what I'm talking about the torpedo spread. We hit 6 there, which is nice, but not all our torpedoes are going to hit. So that's why I don't mind not having 2 extra torps in the second launcher. But yeah, that's the match. With the Preußen going down, I mean, we pretty much had this in the bag. Our right flank handled business, and we were able to stave off some of the pushes with the Puerto Rico and that Preußen. But my opinions of the ship, it's good. It's good. It's a Holland. Now for my elite bonus, I went with the AA, and here is my build currently for this match that you guys just witnessed. I went with AA in slot 1 just because, you know, if carriers come and attack me, I want to knock those planes out of the sky. Propose in slot 2 and then concealment in slot 3. So not full AA meme build, but just enough. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead and like it, subscribe if you haven't done so. If you enjoy the content at least. If you don't, then I'm sorry. But yeah, until next time.